is Van Cam. This is Van Cam you waited for.
Oh, is that right, Steve? Well, your mum so fat that when they baptised her, they had to do it in the sea. Some of the craziest rhymes ever known by a man are going into this mic written by this hand. I tell you now, I like ham and chicken. My name is Kev Ashford and this is Van Cam. Oh! Smoking! Get out of there! See you next week. This is the not world famous Van Cam. It is officially the slowest growing YouTube channel in the history of United related shite talk YouTube channels. Hope you are all alright. It's great to be back in the seat again for another 20 minutes or so of talk about Manchester United. Last week I did a bit of a preview on the Huddersfield game. I did tell you from the dossier that they are a big barrel of wank, and it did come to fruition. Is that that's a word? Of course it is. And we beat them. Alexis Sanchez on his home debut was absolutely top notch. Yeah, he was really good, man. Hacked down about 7 times throughout the game. He's being targeted. Does he give a shit? No. And we've not had this since the likes of Rooney and Tevez. A player that gives 110%, doesn't give a shit if things aren't going well, doesn't shy away, always wants the ball, always trying stuff, looking to unlock, you know, the opposition defence. You know what I mean? I can talk me football shit when I want to. Trying to unlock the opposition defence, get in and around the back, do you know what I mean? And he gets his goal. Yeah, the keeper saved the penalty, but who gives a shit? Not me, and certainly not all the United fans that are watching this. But I'm really looking forward to seeing more of Sanchez. Newcastle coming up on Sunday, and again, you can't be any more, you know, less positive, because you go into this now, you think, we've got Alexis Sanchez, man, we're gonna win. Honestly, that's people might think, Kev, you are getting far too excited and giddy, but that's just how Kev feels at the minute, and I'll be looking at that in a bit. But as always, let me tell you what's coming up. Coming up in this week's show, as always, we will do the world famous Fellaini Watch. What's all this about? Hey! And we will also do, as we always do every week, Wanker of the Week. There's a top 5 this week. Like, his dummy's fallen out. Whoa! We'll do your comments, as we always do every week. We'll look at all the comments from, like, not all of them. I'll pick some out to read, obviously. And we'll do the battle cry, the team talk for the Newcastle match on Sunday. Well, not on Sunday, we'll do it today, but you know what I mean, for Sunday. Where can we start? There's only one place to start. We start with that gormless, bushy-haired, useless tit-licker that is Marouane Fellaini in a thing that we call Fellaini Watch. Do the dab. Don't do that.
McTominay has it for United.
It's in. Yeah. Oh, Fellaini, you bushy-haired tit. Marouane Fellaini. This is Fellaini Watch. What has been going on this week since his 7-minute cameo, where apparently it has come out he was injured, so apologies for what I said last week. Bollocks. I'm not apologising, but we did have a little kind of confrontation on the sideline when Mourinho went up to him as he was coming off, and people read into that. What did he say? I've got it here. You probably know yourself. This is what Mourinho said to Fellaini. He said, I told him yesterday, don't speak like that, but I told him yesterday, sign the contract and shut up. So that's what he's actually telling Fellaini. And for the good of Fellaini Watch, let's just hope he does the right thing and signs the contract. Because like I say, struggling, man. Oh no, I'm not. On Instagram this week, Marouane Fellaini said, honoured to attend the hashtag Gosh Valentine's party representing some at Batty's man or something. And there's a picture of him, as you can see there, and that is Marouane, and Marouane he's asleep. Marouane Fellaini is that gormless and fucking stupid that he's fallen asleep while somebody was trying to take the picture. What's all this about? Hey, God, you useless tit. God, man's trying to take a picture of your woman, it doesn't matter. And the phone's ringing now. And he fell asleep. I've got to get this. That Fellaini Watch. If we turn, you know that Kev Ashford is hitting them high notes. Bit of Travis turn. I've said it once, I'm say it again. It just reminds me of being in Fifth Ave. Every time that song come on, bit of a competition with you and your mates. Get down on the dance floor for 3 or 4 minutes or whatever it was. See who could last the longest, you know, like the video. And then you get up and you've got glass and shit and everything in the palm of your hand. But if you lasted the full song, you are a mighty man. So, other Manchester United related news this week was that Jose Mourinho once again criticised the Old Trafford atmosphere. Now, come on, Jose, lad. You're not telling us something that we don't already know. Anybody that goes to Old Trafford will know that the atmosphere is dog shit, and there's contributing factors from all over, mainly being what I would class as day trippers, people that are just there for the day out. Then obviously the corporate side as well. There's huge parts of Old Trafford that are just geared up for people there to go, drink wine, eat cheese, and talk a load of shit about work. Go and enjoy the football, man. Have a few beers, you know, and sing your heart out. But it's not everybody's cup of tea, and I totally understand that. But the one thing they have to bring back, and I've banged this drum many times on Van Cam, is safe standing. It looks like it's going to get the go-ahead at Old Trafford, and that can only add to the atmosphere. Now, fair play at the singing section, you know, they've give it a try and that, but there's not enough of them. We need that standing section where everybody can stand together. And like I always say, if tickets for a band come up, you don't ring up and you're not looking to be seated unless there's something really wrong with you. Everybody wants to stand. That's where the atmosphere is. Standing creates that. And I'm sure David Conreen, who watches, he'll have stories about back in the day, you know, being stood on the scoreboard paddock or the Stretford end. When my dad brought me as a 6-year-old on the Stretford end, I was scared shitless, man. You never finished the match where you actually, you know, stood when you first walked in. The minute there was a goal, I was terrified, man, looking round. You get pushed to the front, you know, the wave. And I know what happened at Hillsborough and that, and that's the fact that, you know, that it's the reason that, you know, seating come into stadia in England and all around the world after that tragedy. But we've moved on from then. And what I mean by moved on, I mean policing, stewarding, everything's done differently. Look it up on YouTube. You see safe standing, how it's worked in Germany. Even Celtic have got it. For certain games are allowed to use it. We need this back in our game. It needs to get it back for the atmosphere, because like I said, Roy Keane has slagged off the Old Trafford atmosphere. Fergie's done it loads of times, and I know now that Mourinho's said it, it just gives rival fans an extra thing to beat us with. Get that big stick out, you know, and start saying they spend half the game anyway at Old Trafford singing "This is a library," "Your support is shit," "Mourinho's right," "Your fans are shite." We're not shite. We just need a bit of help, a bit of guidance, and at least Mourinho's had the balls to actually speak up about it. So for that, like I say, anything, if fan forums, fan groups, they just need to get together, and we need to iron something out, because this has been going on far too long. And like I say, going to Old Trafford isn't a great experience atmosphere wise. Away games are where the atmosphere is. The real hardcore fans that just sing for 90 minutes regardless of what is going on. At Old Trafford, you seem to have this kind of, you know, we've come along to be entertained, you know, the theatre of dreams. It isn't the theatre, it's a football arena, and it's a football team that plays football. Win, lose or draw, we're there, we support the boys. So let me know what you thought before about Fellaini Watch. That big useless nipple tit did fall asleep, or it certainly looked like he did. Right, let's now crack into the next section of the show. This is where Wanker of the Week is announced. I've got a top 5, so look. I don't know why I just said that. Here it is. Wanker of the Week. Oh yeah, it's that time of the week. We do this every week. It's where we do Wanker of the Week. And oh my God, there's been a shower of wankers this week. So difficult to put this into some kind of table, but I have done a top 5. So here we go. Put on your seatbelt and yeah, anyway, number 5, coming in at number 5 is that bald-headed fella Kojak from over the road, the Stockport noisy neighbours. You know what I'm saying? It's Pep Guardiola. Basically, they drew 1-1 with Burnley, and Pep Guardiola could only name 6 substitutes. He can actually name 7. He named 6 and said that he's running out of players. He's got none left. And we've got this big, buzzing academy that's got all the best talent picked from all around the world, and not one single kid was taken to sit on the bench. Now, in Guardiola's defence, he did come out and say that the reserves or whatever, the under-23s, they played on Friday, and he said, what was the point of bringing someone that was just going to sit on the bench? Well, I'll tell you. Basically, you bring them along for the experience. Now, just a kid like me, if I was brought along to a Man United game and I was sat on the bench, travelled with the team, that would make my day. And that's all part of the experience of blooding youth, which is obviously something Man City don't know about. Number 4, and it's that dickhead. It's Jamie Redknapp. Now, he's come out this week with an absolute corker. Hear me out for a minute. Kevin De Bruyne is already the best passer the Premier League has ever seen. Now, this is a quote from Jamie Redknapp, that silly Scouse knobhead. Is it any wonder his wife left him? I mean, don't get me wrong. Kevin De Bruyne, fantastic player, on course to become, you know, player of the season this year without a shadow of a doubt on current form. But may I just point out a couple that spring to mind? And yes, they are United players. Paul Scholes and David Beckham. How can you even do this off a few seasons anyway? The best passer the Premier League has ever seen in the whole history of the Premier League. What an absolute dick. And he takes his place at 4. Number 3, it's Mauricio Pochettino. Now, he's come out this week and said he's diving. No, he's not. He's defending diving. Oh, wonder why? Because I've got Dele Alli in my team. Anyway, God, I'm getting all worked up. He says that the over-analysis of diving is killing football. He also... What the fuck's wrong with my voice? He also said... He also said football is about trying to trick your opponent. Yes or no? Do you mean yes or no? Yeah, it's alright if you're trying to trick him doing a bit of a Rabona, bit of a Ronaldo chop or something like that. We're not cheating. That's cheating. We don't condone cheating. And you know what? When you're playing Arsenal this weekend, I hope Dele Alli goes down and he does get his legs taken from him and the ref goes, nah, they're all a bunch of diving knobheadsies. Coming in at number 2, and oh, it was close this week, but number 2 is Riyad Mahrez. Yes, this absolute tosser mercenary has decided to go on strike. His dummy's fallen out. He didn't get his move to City on deadline day. He says that Leicester have been bang out of order by not accepting the £60 million bid. Well, my friend, what you should have thought about was when you were signing that new contract at Leicester not so long ago, new 4-year deal, 100 grand a week, whatever. You should have thought about it then. And if City was so desperate to land you, they would have paid the fee to Leicester that Leicester wanted. Yeah, that's the way the market works these days. And if Coutinho's 146 million and Van Dijk is 75 million, then I think that's a fair asking price in today's market. Now, this dick's gone on strike. The PFA are actually getting involved and have said that they will help the player. Apparently, he's depressed. Depressed my ass. He's just spat his dummy out because he didn't get a move. He thought, oh yeah, I'll go to City. Couple of months, I'll have another Premier League medal. piece of piss. Well, it's not happening. Well, it's certainly not happening till the summer. So get back playing for Leicester. You're letting them fans down. You're making yourself look an absolute tit in the process of it. Yeah, right, number one. And this is no laughing matter. Obviously, this week marked the 60th anniversary of the Munich air disaster. And at the match against Huddersfield, which had been the nearest game to the anniversary of the tragedy, Manchester United fans rocked up at Old Trafford, and a nice little memento. Bags were put on each seat for each person that attended. You got like a programme, you know, a few bits and bobs in there, collector's items like limited edition stuff for you to take home and basically, you know, savour and keep. It's a keepsake, yeah, to do with the tragedy. So, imagine to when my utter... Do you know what? It's not even surprised, because this is just modern day United fans these days. They've only turned up on eBay. There's people trying to make money, a financial gain from a tragedy. The tragedy that happened at Manchester United, the Munich air disaster. Who, in the right mind, would put this on eBay and try and make 40, 50 quid out of it, or whatever they're asking? It's not even the point. The fact they're just putting it on, trying to make a profit from it, down with that sort of thing. And especially, like I say, it's the 60th anniversary this week. And for people to do that, you're just disrespecting the club. You're making yourself look absolute twats. What I would say is, get on eBay now, type it in, check them out, set up fake accounts, and just bid like £1 million on each one. And then when they get in touch saying, can I have the money, you know, set it up under a fake address or something. Because that's exactly what they deserve. People trying to profit from tragedy. You're the wankers of the week, and that is Man United fans, or so-called United fans. You know what? I wouldn't even call you United fans. You're an absolute disgrace. Wanker of the week. Chicken nuggets. That was wanker of the week. Let me know what you thought of that. Do you agree with it? I think you'll find it hard to disagree or even argue against the number one, but maybe you thought some of the others should have been mixed up a bit. Am I being a bit harsh on Guardiola? Seems to be making it in every week, doesn't it? What I will say, somebody did very nearly get in the top 5 this week, and the only reason I've not put it is because of the kind of excuse and apology that's come out. It did run in the evening news, this, and it was Manchester United player Jesse Lingard apologises for Munich memorial tweet. Basically, all the United fans went mad because during the actual memorial at Old Trafford on the 6th of February, at the time during that, a tweet was actually sent out from Jesse Lingard's Twitter account. Jesse Lingard released a statement on Twitter saying, a member of my media team inadvertently replied to a tweet this afternoon on my Twitter profile during the Munich memorial service at Old Trafford. I was unaware as I was attending the service at the time and don't condone the post or the timing in any way. The post has now been deleted and I'd like to apologise for any upset caused. Now, this is disappointing, and again, it's just this modern day bollocks. The fact that even if it wasn't Jesse Lingard, which I really hope it wasn't, but I mean, if part of his media team or whatever have tweeted out at the time of this memorial service, they really do need their heads banging against a brick wall. In fact, they need sacking. I mean, anybody that is even on the phone, I can't even understand people who went to the memorial service and get out the phones and film it, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, what is all that about? You wouldn't go to a funeral and get out your phone and film it. You know, fair enough, the BBC, MUTV and all that, news outlets are going to cover it, and that's fair enough, because people want to know what's going on around the world. But for somebody to turn up to it and get out the phone and all that, what is all that about? Just show some respect. And like I say, I really hope that that was not Jesse Lingard that sent it out and he's trying to pull the wool over everyone's eyes because of the shit that he got on Twitter. Loads of United fans jumped on it and give him a load of grief. Like I say, I just really hope that it wasn't, because like I said, football, modern day footballers, this Snapchat era, all this bollocks, just show some respect at the end of the day. There's a time and a place, and that certainly was not the time. Alright, moving on now. We get into the next part. Well, the final part, it is your comments. It's a time for you, shower of bastards, to get your say, and it really could be on anything. A few pearlers in here this week, so let's see if we can get through them quickly. I say this every week and it still goes on for about 10 minutes, but stick with me, bear with me, and let's do this shit right now. Better than sitting on a spiky fence, now it is time for your comments. This is the part of the show, if you leave a message in the comments, even do it this week, it could get read out and we have a look. First up, Dave Birtwhistle, who's a bit of a Van Cam legend, said, cracking a few beers myself, can I be cheeky and ask for a birthday shout out next week, 48 on Wednesday. Cheeky bastard! I tell you something, Birtwhistle, all the shit you've given me over the last year of doing this Van Cam bollocks, you are, but there you go, happy birthday mate, and I hope you've celebrated and done everything that I would have as well, which means plenty of shit, yeah? Footy said, copied in Chevrolet and said, Chevrolet, please take the opportunity to sponsor a vehicle so Mr. Kevin Ashford 7 can travel around doing Van Cam. Imagine that. Still not heard anything though. Shower of bastards. Cheeky bastards. Duncan, oh, Dirty Dunks, the main man, he jumped in on this conversation with Birtwhistle from before and he said, we shout out for me too, Kev. Having to watch the last 4 and the next 3 Van Cams by the pool in Patong Beach, Thailand in 36 degrees. Cheeky bastard. Cheeky show-off bastard. Nobody likes a show-off. What I will say, listen, you enjoy yourself in Thailand. I hope you have. I've been there myself. I've been with Steve. All I'm saying is, check the size of the hands. Check for the Adam's apple. Otherwise, like Steve, you get to third base where you drop the hands on a big pair of hairy bollocks. And that's last resort. You don't really want to find out that way like he did. Even though it's still funny. Neil Driscoll piped up and said, Kev, we should play 3 midfielders. What do you think? I agree. I don't know whether you do. I know you're just throwing a question out. But 3 midfielders frees up Pogba. Yeah? That's a good little saying, that. I think it's proven. It worked at Juventus. And whenever we've done it, I think we do have to build a team around Pogba. He's that good. But he's getting that blend right. I think in a 2, you know, he can go missing. He's not a box-to-box. He's more about, you know, check my hair out and I'm going to pull off, you know, some kind of tricks in the final third. And maybe hit a few shots into the straight end or something. Phil Unsworth always leaves messages. Fair play, Squire said, looking forward to the game tomorrow, Kev. This is from last week, so he's looking forward to the Huddersfield game. I had a mate from Huddersfield, but we kind of fell out. This sounds interesting. He caught me sniffing his sister's pants. He was livid. I bet he was. Especially as she was wearing them at the time. It made the rest of her funeral very uncomfortable for both of us. Still, come on, United. Clay Buzz was next in and said, I sub to a few United channels. Fair play. However, you are pure entertainment. Don't change your show. It's funny and the views will pick up for sure. Hopefully they will. Hopefully they will. Thank you for watching. It's not the end. Don't tune off yet. Mazbaz said, you are a serial killer. What the fuck? Do you know what you're actually saying? Kev, after dealing with the Spurs fans due to that 2-0 defeat and a picture. Hey, it's Paddy Considine. Anybody that doesn't know who this madman with the axe is, make sure you go out and check a film called Dead Man's Shoes by Shane Meadows, director. It's easily the best film that he's ever directed. It's his masterpiece. Swear to God, if you have not seen it, watch it and get back to me and tell me. I have seen that film about, no lies, about 10-15 times, but it's one of them, after the first time, you have to watch it again to appreciate. There's a great twist in it. It's a quality film. And that, my friends, is it. No, it's not. I'm going to do the war cry in a minute, the team talk. That's me sat here talking to all the United players. Well, they're not here, but I'll just pretend they are, and it's what I would say if I was in there. Make sure you subscribe. Drop a like on the video. That's all I'm asking. Appreciation that you like what's going on here and the work that Kev does. I have to drive. I have to do this shit. Do you know what I mean? Man is hot. Maybe not. Facebook page at Kev's Van Cam. The email address, kevinashford7@gmail.com. Make sure you got the notifications turned on, because the minute the video's released, you'll get that notification. But if you don't, they're released on Fridays, usually between the hours of 5 and 7. Gives you enough time to get back, have a quick coffee, then get the cans open. So then you just sit back, you know, crack open the beers, pin back your ears, you know, think about what's happened down in the years, and give a few cheers or something. Anyway, here's the war cry. This is the team talk. Let's get into this shit right now. Oh, oh. Come on, the boys! We are Manchester United, and this weekend we're taking on Newcastle. Newcastle have got a fat Spanish waiter. Ah, yeah, they have. And he used to manage Liverpool, so there is no way that we will be defeated by a fat Scouse Spanish waiter. Phil Jones, stop pulling that stupid face. Hey? You're not pulling a face. Well, just look away. Sorry, that is your face, yes. Marwan, what the hell are you doing? Boots off. You're injured and you're shit as well. Luke Shaw, sign that new contract. That's what I'm talking about. Tony V, you just get stuck in and keep bombing up that right wing into midfield. Pogba, you're not immune from this. We all know that McTominay can just step in and do a job. Stop pissing around with that hair and start playing like a £90 million man. Feeding balls in and all that shit that you did at Juventus. Matic, just keep it tight, son. I love you. And Alexis Sanchez. Oh, yes. Just keep up with them skills. Run rings round that back four. Lukaku as well. Just do what you do best and put the ball in the net. And over to Tony Marshall. Hey, come on, cheer up, Tony. It's Man United, and everybody takes it out onto the pitch today, and we do not get beaten. We are Manchester United from Manchester, the 20 times champions, and for Manchester United at the weekend. And you boys, all of you, come on, United! Are you ready? Are you ready for love? Yes, I am.